Wildlife. Natural life can be tracked down in all biological systems. Deserts, fields, prairies, forests, backwoods, and different regions, including the most evolved metropolitan regions, all have particular types of natural life. While the term in mainstream society as a rule alludes to creatures that are immaculate by human variables, most researchers concur that much untamed life is impacted by human exercises. Some untamed life undermines human security, well-being, property, and personal satisfaction. Be that as it may, numerous wild creatures, even the perilous ones, have worth to individuals. This worth may be monetary, instructive, or close to home in nature. People generally would separate progress from untamed life in various ways, including legitimate, social, and moral defects. A few creatures, in any case, have adjusted to rural conditions. This incorporates such creatures as wild felines, canines, mice, and rodents. A few religions proclaim specific creatures to be hallowed, and in current times, worry for the regular habitat has incited activists to challenge the double dealing of natural life for human advantage or diversion. Worldwide natural life populaces have diminished by 68% beginning around 1970 because of human action, especially overconsumption, populous development, and concentrated cultivating, as per a 2020 World Natural Life Assets Living Planet report and the Zoological Society of London's Living Planet record measure, which is additional proof that people have released a sixth mass elimination occasion. As indicated by refers to, it has been assessed that every year the worldwide natural life exchange adds up to billions of dollars and it influences a huge number of creature and plant examples. The Amazon is an unquestionably extraordinary spot. It is the world's biggest tropical jungle and stream framework, and the most organically assorted put on the planet. It contains a huge number of animal groups, a large portion of them still undescribed. Both Amazon's backwoods and freshwater frameworks are in danger. Since the year 2000, precipitation has declined across 69% of the Amazon timberland. WWF gauges that 27% of the Amazon biome will be without trees by 2030, assuming the ongoing pace of deforestation proceeds. Safeguarding and rationing the Amazon is no simple errand, yet WWF has been attempting to save this significant spot. The Amazon is one of Earth's last asylums for pumas, shrew falcons, and pink waterway dolphins, and it is home to sloths, dark insect monkeys, and toxic substance dart frogs. It contains 1 out of 10 known species on the planet, 40,000 plant species, 3,000 freshwater fish species, and in excess of 370 kinds of reptiles. More than 2,000 new types of plants and vertebrates, including a monkey that murmurs like a feline, have been depicted beginning around 1999. This huge area, around 66% the size of the US, ranges from 8 nations: Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and the abroad region of French Guiana. Covering around 40% of South America, the Amazon contains 1.4 billion sections of land of thick backwoods, a big part of the planet's leftover tropical woodlands, 4,100 miles of winding streams, and 2.6 million square miles in the Amazon Bowl. In excess of 30 million individuals, including 350 native and ethnic gatherings, live in the Amazon and rely upon nature for agribusiness, clothing, and customary medications. There is likewise a reasonable connection between the soundness of the Amazon and the strength of the planet. The tropical jungles, which contain 90 billion to 140 billion metric lots of carbon, assist with balancing out nearby and worldwide environments. The Amazon likewise siphons around 7 trillion tons of water each year into the climate, and its timberlands reuse 75% of yearly precipitation back into the air. The Amazon faces numerous dangers, including deforestation from broad cow farming and agrarian extension, foolish foundation, unlawful and impractical normal asset extraction, and environmental change. WWF has been attempting to secure and save Amazon for more than 40 years. WWF attempts to stand up to the drivers of deforestation, similar to soy cultivating, cow farming, hydropower, unlawful and impractical logging, and foundation. WWF and our accomplices sent off a methodology called task money for lastingness in Brazil to safeguard 150 million sections of land of the Brazilian Amazon. We joined public and confidential elements to raise $215 million to make, solidify, and keep an organization of 114 safeguarded regions. The organization, called the Amazon Local Safeguarded Regions Program, is just multiple times bigger than all U.S. public parks consolidated. Presently WWF is trying the very approach for the safeguarded region frameworks in a few different nations that are significant for preservation, including Peru, Bhutan, and Colombia. Environmental change takes steps to upset the organizations of water and woodlands natural life relies upon. Hotter temperatures and less precipitation have delivered dry spells of memorable extents. The Amazon experienced its most horrendously terrible dry spells of 100 years in 2005 and 2010. Long droughts wilt crops, demolish fisheries, and lead to backwoods fires. This can bring about huge changes in the cosmetics of environments and a deficiency of animal types. WWF assists ranchers with safeguarding their harvests from extreme precipitation and dry seasons and guarantee close-by natural life regions can adjust to a hotter world. There are numerous ways you can assist with safeguarding Amazon. You can instruct your loved ones about the significance of the Amazon. You can turn into an insightful client, ask how your food and different buys have been delivered, and purchase items with the FSC mark. You can lessen your utilization of petroleum derivatives, and your effect on the world. You can likewise support the Amazon people groups by sharing their accounts and discussing natural worries.
Our planet Earth is home to a large number of residing creatures. From miniature organic entities and microorganisms, lichens to banyan trees, elephants, and blue whales, there is an immensely large number of living organic entities tracked down on the Earth. Tragically, individuals today have changed nature and untamed life into an asset. They acquire various items straightforwardly and by implication from the timberlands and natural life like wood, barks, leaves, elastic, prescriptions, colors, food, fuel, grub, fertilizer, and so on, which exhausted our backwoods and natural life. As said by Gandhiji, the world has enough for everybody's need except insufficient for everybody's covetousness. In spite of knowing and understanding this reality, we don't try it. Subsequently, our regular assets are at a consistent gamble of exhaustion. Along these lines, here we'll learn about timberland and untamed life specifically. We should figure out more about timberland and untamed life assets. Arrangement of species. The Worldwide Association for Preservation of Nature and Normal Assets, IUCN, has arranged plants and creatures arranged by the presence. Typical species. This incorporates species whose populace levels are viewed as typical for their endurance, like steers, sow, pine, rodents, and so on. They are consequently called the typical species. Jeopardized species. This incorporates species that are at risk for elimination, thus called the imperiled species. For instance, dark buck, crocodile, Indian wild ass, and so on. Weak species. This incorporates species whose populace has declined to levels from where it is probably going to move into the imperiled class soon. For models, blue sheep, Asiatic elephants, Gangetic dolphins, and so on. Intriguing species. This incorporates species with a little populace. They could move into the jeopardized or weak classification on the off chance that the right estimates aren't taken. For instance, Himalayan earthy-colored bears, wild Asiatic bison, desert fox, hornbill, and so on. Endemic species. This incorporates species that are just found in a few specific regions that are typically disengaged by regular or topographical hindrances. For instance, Andaman greenish-blue, Nicobar pigeon, Andaman wild pig, Mithun in Arunachal Pradesh. Terminated species. Moreover, there are a few wiped-out animal types. This incorporates species that are not found after searches of known or possible regions where they might happen. For instance, the Asiatic cheetah, pink-head duck, and so on. Reasons for consumption of the greenery. There are various variables that have prompted the consumption of greenery. These include moving development, overpopulace, mining, huge scope advancement projects, brushing and fuel wood assortment. Purposes behind a decrease in India's biodiversity. A portion of the reasons that have prompted a decrease in the biodiversity of India are overabuse, backwoods fires, hunting, natural surroundings annihilation, harming, poaching, ecological contamination, protection of woods and natural life in India. Protection is important to safeguard the biological variety in our life, emotionally supportive networks like air, water, and soil. In light of the traditionalist interest, the Indian Untamed Life Assurance Act came right into it in the year 1972. This act gave a few arrangements for safeguarding territories.